I've been trying to convince myself that this doesn't matter, that I'm okay with it, but I've got to face facts. This guy is far too big. I mean, he's way oversized. I know they shrink the Transformers down, change them in the G1 animation, like they've shrunk him down here so he fits in the frame as Optimus croaks it. And in this scene, they need him to be up front in the shuttle, so he's Tiny Magnus. Even though the chairs on this identical shuttle fit perfectly with Cup and Hot Rod, who are much smaller, the G1 cartoon, it's all over the place in terms of scale, but this guy is way too big. We all know it in our heart of hearts, surely. He should not be taller than Grimlock and wider than two Junkions side by side. There are animation reference materials out there, even lists of generally agreed upon heights for all the G1 Transformers. I mean, who exactly compiled these lists and where their sources came from, I'm not really sure, but just as the animators of the G1 cartoon apparently acted on instinct, so we as fans can act on instinct too, right? An 86 Ultra Magnus is clearly too freaking big. The fact that apart from this gripe he's absolutely brilliant just makes it all the more infuriating. This is the best Ultra Magnus I've ever owned. I absolutely love it, but it's clearly way too big. In one of my earliest videos, I talked about how important the scale of the relative offerings in Hasbro's Studio Series 86 line is. For me, it's one of the main reasons I collect, along with articulation, much more accurate cartoon styling. Scale is one of the major draws for me. My vintage Transformers were wildly all out of whack with one another, the reason being the original Transformers were this Frankenstein's monster of a toy line.
Enjoying the movie, Spike? No!
Cobbled together from whatever Japanese transforming toys Hasbro could hoover up the rights to. The chance to collect a much more homogeneous G1 collection through Studio Series 86 and to a lesser extent the Legacy line was what got me into modern Transformers collecting. And I can't be alone. Cartoon accuracy and relative scale is one of the selling points, surely. Please don't tell me I've made a mistake and no one else cares about this. I thought everyone cared about this. I thought the creators and the model makers. Hasbro cared about this. Maybe it's a concession to playability. Let's make sure he can ferry around a bunch of Autobots in vehicle mode. But from what I've read, these modern toys, the scale has always been related to the robot mode, not the alt mode. This is an oversight in my mind as bad as the robot enhanced design Bumblebee, where the designers decided they just didn't give a shit about scale and thought nobody would care. I need help. I need someone to step up and explain to me, why was this decision made? Put me out of my misery, Internet Transformers fans. Help it all make sense to me, please.